All right, welcome back to Boys in Motion, the podcast where we usually dive deep into endurance training, racing, and everything in between. But today, we're trying something a little bit different. This will be our first ever Boys Banter episode.
If you thought the podcast was a little belligerent at times before, well, you've got something in store for you. Think of this as one of those long post-run coffee chats where the conversation can go anywhere and everywhere. We're going to talk training updates, random life stuff, maybe some hot takes.
I'm kind of fired up for this. I think I was built for this, and I'm just ready to chat about literally anything and everything. I know at the beginning of this, we had to stop each other because we were just talking about too many fun things. I think, the race season winding down, and now we're just no stress, just straight banter. I think this is a perfect time for this episode.
Yeah, no, I do ask the question. Normally, we have this protocol of whoever's speaking is off mute and the other two are muted. I think the boys banter episodes need to be completely unmuted. Like, of course, you can go on mute when the dog's barking, but let's really see where we can get this. What do you think about that?
Oh, the dogs are out today and I'm ready.
So,
all right, let's go. I like it.
Yeah, okay. So, like, obviously the big thing, and we couldn't stop talking about it before we hit the record button, is all about Ironman 2026. So, spilling the beans a little bit, just so people know. We caught wind of a transfer code that gave a good deal on the Ironmans. Now, obviously, it's a promo code that I think, personally, if you use the promo code and they allow you to check out, you should be able to purchase what is on their site for the price they offer it at with that promo code. And we were obviously getting like a 90% discount or so
on 98%
on Ironman signups. So of course we're gonna share the word of this great marketing promotion, and a lot of people signed up for it in our group. I think that should be honored personally.
Oh, we had a train going, and literally as we were hopping on here, we got the news, and I'm just devastating. I was ready to see Andy as the non-one trick pony, and I mean, he was ready as well. I even saw some of his search history when he was looking over the weekend, and he was getting real freaky.
Yeah, I will say last Friday was maybe one of the scariest moments waking up. I made the grave mistake of rolling out of bed, not out, actually still in bed, but opening my eyes and immediately looking, expecting some spooky work emails. But instead, what is in my inbox? Thank you for your purchase, man. Or purchase, man. Thank you for your purchase, Ironman. Scroll down, Ironman Ottawa. And I was like, what is this in my inbox? And I was freaked out. And the two other boys pulled a fast one on me.
Yeah, so it was pretty hilarious. The way it went down from my perspective is I woke up at like 6:30 or something, and immediately Tyler's calling me. So I put him on snooze for the first call. I'm
it was an emergency.
This is a mistake. And then he texts me, emergency. So I call him back, and boom, he's like, there's this awesome promotion going on Ironman's site. You can sign up for Ironmans, and it's a nice discount. They usually don't give discounts. So I was like fired up, go immediately sign up for the Ottawa Ironman, which, like, I've said many times that I would not sign up for an Ironman, especially not without talking to the rascal, but this was automatic trigger pulled. So I signed up for that. Then I also was like, well, if I'm going to do the full Ironman, I've got to sign up for 70.3. So I signed up for the 70.3. And now Tyler and I are on the phone just giggling. So I'm like, frig, I'm signing up Andrew as well. So I just put in all your information, get your registration as well. And then as soon as I hung up with you, Tyler, I actually called Tomic, and he signed up for Ironman, the 70.3 in Muskoka. Or, no, Tremblant, sorry. So just hilarious. And I bet we had like 40 signups from the word of the Lord that spread.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that's freaky. And that probably was honestly one of the highlights of the year, is just seeing Andrew's reaction, just like, what the heck just happened? And I mean, the guy who sleeps in gets the cheese, but he also gets the Ironman registration.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was feeling a certain way about it. I had a nice mapping of my 2026 and the goals I wanted to do, and this Ironman definitely was going to put a wrinkle in that.
It's poubelle.
But I had started to accept it, had started to research pools. I joined a triathlon Discord group in Toronto, so I was going to go all in, but Ironman, Scott DeRue, he crushed my dreams because our registrations have been canceled. He is the villain in this story, is all I'm saying.
Okay, but they have not sent any communication. And I am still fully on the side of we were able to check out with, yes, a marketing code, but they haven't sent us any communications. I've not acknowledged any cancellations. From my perspective, I'm still all steam ahead. I got ChatGPT working on the background for a legal rebuttal against their team when they actually do end up reaching out.
Yeah, I think we should go full contract mode on these guys and just tell them, hey, listen, Buster, transfer 50 matters.
I think that's fair. Until there's an official email, a statement, we have our race QR code. We're ready to race. Maybe I'll delay my swim training in a week now, but I'm ready to race.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I obviously need to get a TT bike if the Ironman goes ahead. I would want a TT bike, but I'm gonna still keep my eye on the market until we get that official email that it's not going forward.
And I mean, I don't know. I put this itch in your brain. I think we should still look at doing a shorter distance, or again, maybe that bootleg that we did tease a little bit earlier in the year. That would be really hilarious to see, I think.
Well, I think that's the key here is obviously there is a lot of appetite to do an Ironman distance, but the hesitancy is all around that price. Most people don't want to drop like $1,400 plus a bike plus overnight accommodations. All in all, it's going to be like a $3,000 weekend, excluding the bike. And so I think there's clearly people who want to try this, and maybe the only thing stopping us from doing that is the fact that Ironman's so expensive. But if we put together a nice course, get a good group out, and just have a nutrition table, maybe we could run one.
Exactly. So I think there's an asterisk beside this refunded official registration, but I don't think we're gone totally just yet.
So Andrew, you mentioned 2026 goals. Do you have any that you could tease for the listeners?
My big was just I was gonna do double Toronto Marathon was the original goal, and then hopefully a lot more shorter races, do some quicker stuff as kind of in between blocks, but minimize travel so that it's like a little less daunting on the body as far as the travel and kind of that, because that's like an extra variable. And also just a couple more shots at racing after Berlin. Not that I was racing there, but having some races with less than ideal weather, I want kind of more chances of getting PR days, with the marathon just being so, like, one of the biggest variables. You can have everything perfect, but if you have a bad weather day, it can completely mess you up. So that was kind of what I had in my mind. And yeah, at first the Ironman completely blew out the fall, because I don't think, I think I would have potentially shifted to maybe like a CIM or something like that and done a late marathon block. But right now, yeah, I'm still doing the Ironman officially, because we don't have the email.
Officially, I like it, and yeah, it would be very cool if this all works out and we get to do an Ironman. I was even talking like, of course, we're the kind of people that want to put in the training, that want to prove ourselves against the disciplines and against the big day that is a full Ironman. But to a certain extent, at the cost of registration with that promotional code, it's so reasonable that you don't need to put in the like dozen hour of training for the 4 months leading in and still get a great experience, right? It doesn't need to be taking up all your time at that price level. Whereas I can understand when you spend like $1,400 on an Ironman race fee, you're going to want to dedicate yourself to the fullest block possible and even like years of training to achieve like a certain goal. Whereas, if you're spending, if you're saving 90%, you can also save 90% on the training and still have a good experience.
Exactly. I was more so looking at, just trying to get as many people involved as possible and just joining the fun on the day. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'll see. It's still not, let's say, not official unofficially
Yeah.
canceled, but yeah, no, this has been a pretty crazy roller coaster week just in general. I think with that Friday, I could tell you I got barely no work done on Friday. I was on my phone all day. I felt like a friggin' stockbroker. I was just on the phone, group chats galore,
Shorting
everybody
Iron Man.
texting me. Oh, it was freaking nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was quite the experience. And rolling into the weekend, like even like wrapping my mind around it again, and like I kind of settled with the idea of, hey, I'm not doing another one this year. I'm gonna settle down. Focus on other things. Like Andy, I'm looking at maybe doing some faster races in 2026. But then that friggin' M dot was calling again, and I'm like, no friggin' way this is gonna happen again. But yeah, that was pretty roller coaster right there.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. It was quite a whirlwind of a morning. So, Andrew, two marathons, both Toronto and then Toronto Waterfront. Spring Marathon is probably your next marathon that you'll run. I could imagine maybe a winter ultra might be there. But for these shorter goals, do you have anything you're benchmarking for or racing against? What do you have in store for Strava?
I would really like to race a half marathon, like actually race it. I've never done one. And I think the half marathon is a distance that I do quite well at generally. And I'm pretty good at racing them as far as like, going out and being able to like negative split and finish really strong. I've generally like my half marathon time in blocks has been slightly better than often my marathon performance. So it'd be interesting to actually do one tapered. So that was like a big thing. And then just like, I would like to do an official 10K because I've only done 10K time trials. So I'd like to hop into a 10K race. And then I need a 5K PR. That's the issue is this year, 2025. I'm already getting ahead of myself. 2025, I had 0 PRs. The only PR was a 10K time trial, which doesn't count. It was significant, but it doesn't count. After a year of no PRs, I need some wins.
That's crazy
So,
that you're at the level of fitness now that like PRs are so tough to come by. Like that's when you really know you've like you're really at the peak of athletic performance is when you're not just PRing every time you go out for a new effort, right? Like the noob gains are gone. Now it's just hustle and bustle.
yeah. And everyone in the BIM community, they're all just rubbing their PRs in my face day in and day out. People are like, I'm taking 5 minutes off my 5K PR, and you know who you are. I'm referring to one specific person, and it's so easy. And then here I am, just like Akram said on Strava, I'm regressing. So I got to figure out what's up and how to get that speed back.
Fair. What do you think you could run a mile in right now?
Again, unofficial, my PR is about a 4:45 that was done on a track. I used to always do a birthday mile. I lacked this year and I didn't do the birthday mile because I was running a marathon. Yeah, that's what I was doing. And
Yeah,
I didn't want
you
to
ran
do
26 miles.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do an all-out mile after I was already broken, so I skipped it this year. But yeah, my PR is a 4:45, so I would say probably in that range. Probably not much faster, to be
Nice.
honest.
Yeah. So the reason I talk about the mile is because there's this guy on social. I don't know if you saw him, but basically he ran a mile every single day. His first mile that he ran was about like 5:55, and he kept running an all-out mile every single day until he broke 5 minutes. And
That's freaky. What
it
the
took him
heck?
quite a bit of time, maybe like a month and a half or something. So he had to run like 45 all-out miles, but eventually he did it.
So he did one all out every day
Every day, like
and nothing
didn't
more.
balance, probably more, like probably
Okay.
some strength training and maybe like or some runs after that, but like he tried to do it every single day and gradually he came down over the course. And I'm like sort of probably in that like 540, 535 maybe all out, and I'm curious to hear your opinions on whether or not you think that's a smart way to go about it, is just try to the all out, maybe not every day, but every week to see if I could get that sub.
I mean, that's the beauty of the short distance. It's such a short time that there's barely any pounding. I think out of a marathon block, that's fine. I don't think it's the optimal way to get a faster mile, but I don't think there's a risk.
I
The
think
optimal weight would be.
I think too is seeing like not let's not call them noobs, but more amateurs or beginners. Maybe they don't like even in the like the best way possible. They just go for it and don't know the limits, and they just keep going all out. Like I just think of Nathan McDuff. He just could go all out. Brain turns off, doesn't think about anything but running, which is kind of a positive thing in that case.
Yeah, I mean the thing with the all out mile is like once you're running sub 5 miles, you're pretty darn fast, I would say, in my books. So like that's definitely like one of those things that I'd like to see if I can attain, but there's so much work to be done to get there. But there's also this thing of like if you keep doing the same test, you will eventually get pretty darn good at it. They say that for like VO2 max testing and yeah, FTP tests is like you can start to really get good and optimize for those by doing them so much and just getting regimented in the way you test. So that's like a one way to look at it is you just take more reps at that test, but maybe doing it like every week, every 2 weeks is a better way to approach it.
So is that a winter project I'm hearing?
I don't know, slippity sliding around trying to run
Yeah.
fast miles seems like a recipe for an injury.
I mean, I kind of like that idea for, I know last winter I probably did 2 FTP tests. I kind of like that idea for FTP tests. Just start ripping one a week, see your gains. But I mean, if you're racing as well, you're starting to get a lot of that upper zone 5 in you per week, but it's kind of freaky.
But like you look at the really fast people who are maybe not training for Ironman and marathons, but like the people who are training for 5Ks, they're doing quite a bit of higher intensity stuff and they're like very fit. Like I look at like a Logan, for example, and the way he trains. A lot of the times he's doing like shorter, spikier sets of running in his workouts than maybe somebody like Carly.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's intensity versus volume.
Yeah.
His volume relative to his fitness is not very high,
Right. But he's still doing way like so much volume.
but crazy intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy intensity.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Like someone of his fitness, like high volume is like running 120 miles, like 120 miles a week
That's crazy.
plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Andrew, just one potential race to do is the 2026 Chili Half in Burlington. I think it's March 1st, 2026.
The chili half does look nice. It's nice and flat. It's cold.
It'll be friggin' cold.
It's definitely going to be cold. So yeah, that's definitely a potential. And now that I don't need to worry about, well, no, I still need to worry about swimming. But if I don't need to worry about swimming, the timing could work out where I could start thinking about running by then.
Yeah, true. That's nice. Okay, well, we will see. So, as you guys probably know, because I posted a story about it, I attended the Niagara Falls International Marathon over the weekend
Oh
to
yeah,
cheer
how was
some
that?
people on. It was really cool. Like you said, Andrew, I forget the last name, but I saw Yuki, the 2018-16 Boston Marathon winner. He was flying.
Was he 20 minutes ahead of second place?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And
That's
then
creepy.
there were, of course, some others who did really, really well. Max from Max Runs, he coaches a bunch of like athletes here in Niagara. He was running the 10K. I don't know, he might have won, but he was first when he passed us. But it was him and one other person, one other guy running the 10K at the lead of the pack. And then Chloe got second overall female and first
That's
in her
so
age
sick.
group,
That's so
flying.
freaky.
And then Romeo from Coffee Trotters
Oh yeah.
got, I forget what he was overall, maybe in the
Two
top nine,
10th.
eight.
He was
Okay,
10th.
top 10. But Boston qualifier on him. So
253 or something. Yeah.
yeah, huge weekend for a lot of people. But it was chaos where I was. I want to share my screen here, and so I'm going to try to throw it up just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me know if you can see this. Okay,
Yeah.
so two things happened. The first thing was the 10K. They turned around, so the start line for the 10K and all the races is here, and you go out towards the falls, and then you go all the way till Stanley. Is this Stanley? No, Murray. Sorry, Murray Hill. So you go all the way out and back, and then you do this little thing through Chippewa. So the 10K, they turned them around early. They only ended up getting 8.8K in.
What the
For
heck?
some
Why?
reason. I don't know. The lead biker who's directing them turned them early. So that's one thing. Then the second thing, sorry, I'm getting lost here, is what happens here is you need to go out and back over this one bridge. And you have to
That
do
bridge
that.
friggin' sucks.
You have to do that in the half. So this is the half here now. So you can see the half does the exact same start here and then just
dang.
goes out this way. And the marathon too. Exact same
Imagine
thing.
the wind on that stretch. We did that stretch for the
goes
friggin' BIM ride.
Yeah.
Imagine.
So the crazy thing is they had one lane of traffic shut down. This is a 3-lane bridge. So you had 2 lanes of traffic, 1 lane for runners going back and forth, which means you had like full pace groups of the half coming through, while 10K runners are going the other way. Same with like marathon people. It was just a cluster.
So it was like you had 4 feet each way, literally.
Not even, because the people coming to like towards like going out towards the southeast were in huge clumps. So a lot of the times the people running back to the finish line were literally single file or having to go into the traffic lane just to run around the packs that were coming. And the other
That's
thing was
crazy.
around this turnaround, there was not a way to get fed back into the course. So like the lead people on the 10K didn't know where to go. Like they came up to this intersection with the park and there wasn't like you're turning right here. It was just a dead end. You came to Cummington and it was just boom, dead end.
What the heck?
It was,
And then you're cut off, yeah.
you were just cut off. It was chaos.
They should
around
have just
that.
looped them a little bit higher up in the neighborhood. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what the organizers were thinking of. Like obviously
freight.
it was like perfect conditions and people ran fast times,
Yeah.
but like it was not well executed around there. And
and I think the
Yeah.
90-degree turns on a friggin' race course is absolutely bunk. I hate it.
oh, like full 180s, like the
Yeah,
BIM
the 180s.
5K?
What the
Yeah,
hell are you guys doing?
yeah, yeah. So, anyways, that was really interesting. I think most people racing felt like it was good, but there,
I mean, the weather was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect racing weather. So
I think it was like
think-
3 or 4 degrees when they started and never got over 8 degrees while people
Yeah.
were running. Ideal.
that's so good.
And
That's
not windy
perfect.
either. Not
And
windy at all.
in
From what I
Ottawa
saw.
it was sunny. It probably
felt.
was sunny over there too.
Yeah, yeah. So, congrats to everybody. But I just wanted to tell you about that chaos from an organizational perspective. It was a little
It's
rough.
a little freaky.
I find it interesting, like this race specifically, trying to jam in 4 different distances in one event. I feel like they need to, like some races like the Toronto Waterfront, they do the speedy 5K the day before. I feel like you do those short distances where there are those people that are like going all out, and like in my opinion in the 5 and 10K, those people, like when you're going those speeds, you like lose all your senses. You like don't know what you're doing anymore. And then you leave the half marathon and the marathon for a separate day. Stop trying to squeeze them all together and have people running. Because I also feel like were the start times different? Do you know?
So the marathon started an hour before, so that was
Okay.
good. But then it looked, from my perspective, like the 10K and the half were all jumbled up. I don't know if there was a better way to do it. Maybe like send all the marathoners, then the 10K, and as the 10K is almost done, I don't know if they need all three on that, or they actually do all four on the same day. So
Right.
because they do the 5K way later.
And I mean, the parkway has such large real estate. Just send a group way out and bring them back or something. Even, you know, like they had lots of real estate. It seems like they still compressed it in that little spot. So, but again, beautiful day. And I would imagine, I didn't check. Yeah, I did look at Romeo's elevation, not too much. I think 60, 70 meters.
No, you end up getting a lot of it when you go like to the falls, and then you turn around and you're coming up. That's where you
after
really
Murray.
After Murray coming back up is where you get hit by it, because you have Dufferin Island, and that's a hill, right?
I think they just need to bring back the international course. As much as I'm sure the logistics of doing that right now are probably a little tough. And just once you get used to not having to deal with logistics, it's probably nice to not deal with them. But that over the bridge and the point to point, if they bring it back, I want to do the marathon. Until then, waterfront.
I
Toronto
agree.
waterfront
I
for
agree.
me.
That is really cool. So where did they used to start? Was it all the way in Buffalo?
In Buffalo, and they did about 5K in Buffalo, and then you went over the bridge.
Wow. Okay.
The Peace Bridge?
The Peace Bridge.
Yeah. Nice.
And that was basically the Peace Bridge right to around the falls anyway, somewhere around there. I think maybe right at right at the water, at the falls.
That's really cool. And that is a spectacular venue, so that's something that would definitely attract a bigger international crowd, especially people from the States as well, who if it's all in Canada, then why not just do the Buffalo? But there's a uniqueness of being able to cross. Now, the one question is, how do they handle that with passports?
They pre-check the passports.
Okay.
So once you're on the bus, you're checked. So yeah, there's no officers asking for your passport as you cross.
Imagine that's part of it. You gotta friggin' give a guy, it's a aid station. You gotta give some guy your passport. Do you have anything to come on board?
Yeah, I've got 25 gels.
Oh, fring, I got some gels. You're not allowed.
I mean, to be honest, if you're carrying Morton's, that might be over your dollar allowance that you can bring over the bridge.
Oh, frig, that is
honestly true.
Well, you should just go to
The other fun fact, that's true. The other fun fact about the race is the original course was actually used for the U.S. Olympic trials way back, I think in the 70s or 80s. And the course record holder, I didn't know this until a month ago, is actually Pete Fitzinger. The man, the myth, the legend.
No way, really?
Holds the course record at the Niagara Falls Marathon. It's 2:17, I think. That's something very quick.
So that's why
I thought that was cool.
book.
Oh yeah, he's a local legend.
That's
My parents,
cool.
yeah, I was born and they just handed me the book, the Fitzinger Bible.
Nice.
They said, "Here you go, that on you."
So I recently went to the outlets, picked up a new pair of shoes. You guys might be interested. The New Balance Rebels, and I got them in a nice minty color scheme. For those on video, you'll be able to see them. I went out with them tonight. They're really, really nice shoes. The one thing I would say is it's a super wide, 4 foot. So when you're going around corners, it seems to really tear at your foot a bit because it's just so wide in the 4 foot. But it's a very nice shoe. Have either of you gotten one of the New Balance Rebels?
I used the first version of the Rebels and I really liked them.
Yeah.
But have not had them since.
True. Yeah, these were I think $85, maybe $90 at the outlet. So I was like, oh, you know what? They look beautiful, and I know some people who have had them. I think Mark and the Rascal have them, and they're quite light, quite nice, and they definitely want to go fast. They're not really a slow run shoe, but they're also not a speed shoe. They're just a good fast long run kind of thing. And they felt pretty darn good, I would say, especially for being 1 week off a marathon. Have either of you purchased or trialed any new gear or shoes in the last few weeks?
Oh, I haven't trialed any new run gear, but I do have yet another flies that were secured by Mark. And these ones even cheaper than the last. They're only $135. So now I have one fresh pair in BIM purple, one fresh pair in coral. So I'm locked and loaded for 2026. I'm very excited. I might just
great.
make my easy run shoes VaporFlys at that price point.
Honestly, fair. I bought like a second pair of the BIM purples, and I have them up on Marketplace, but like I might just have to keep them because they were really nice to run in the marathon. Like they're super good shoe, and I thought I was gonna be like really like pronating inside and like ruining my joints throughout the race, but felt none of that. It was a superb shoe.
Yeah, I didn't mind the shoe, the friggin' heel. I still have that friggin' blister that I'm dealing with, but I feel like the shoe got destroyed. Not me, but the friggin' shoe. I think it might even last what? What do you think? A couple marathons and then it's friggin' on the retired trainer list or what? What do you guys think for the miles on it?
I don't think like the stones helped in your race.
Oh
I
my,
think that
they
definitely
look
hurt.
chewed.
And like going downhill, heel like hitting the heel more going downhill is gonna chew them up because really they only have protection and like rubber at the forefoot. They have a little bit at the back, but it's definitely not something for the trails or for like non-pavement. How long have you seen them last, Andrew?
My vote is two A races, two A marathons is what they're like peak for. But then they go to tune-up race. Like I think you could push them way more than that. But I think the fresh shoe, you get the mental side, and I'll take the free mental gains all day. So I think two A races, and then they become tune-up race shoe. Like my first pair of Vaporfly 2s, I have 143 miles. So I did two marathons, but I've done a ton of half marathons in them since, and they to be honest, they still feel good.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know. Yeah, I think I'll probably adopt that same standard. But really, like 2A races for like $150, that's crazy. Thank goodness for the outlets.
Can't beat it. Yeah,
So we were
next
talking
time I
about.
go down, I was gonna say next time I go down, I'm gonna just
Yeah,
friggin' stock up.
I like
But
that.
the thing is, I don't know, we might want to take this part out because the last time we shared a thing that was too good to be true, they took it away from us. So maybe, all these shoes might get scooped up just like the friggin' our registration for Ironman. So I don't know. I don't know if we should be sharing this too far and wide.
Right. I
That's
kind
true.
of like how you really
It's.
want to race this.
I mean, if you could race it for cheap buck, and they're offering it on their website, transparent pricing with a functional promo code, that's nice. I feel entitled.
I mean, so do I. I mean, I tried it today on another race registration that we could dive into. I just tried the transfer 50, see if the code works for frig's sakes. I just wanted to get the free game.
Yeah. So sell us this trail race, because I don't know about it, Tyler. Doing a relay, it seems a little like why even do a monster if you got to share the load?
Well, problem is you guys didn't friggin' sign up for the whole thing at the time that they sold out within hours. That's the real issue we have here. The problem is I was gonna sign up for the 100, ended up signing up for the 50. They sold out both of them within like hours on the first day of signups. So yeah, I guess let's call it the third best is that relay mode. But I mean, still, there's a relay team that I think it's from two, you could do 2 to 6. So I signed up for the relay as well. So I'm going to be racing on the Friday and the Sunday. I'm part of the friggin' BIM team number 1. McDuff signed up, and I told him if he signs up, we'll put the C on his jersey. So we're going to give him a captain's jersey. He signed up. We got Miguel signed up, and then a couple pendings here. So we definitely got one team. But again, I gotta sell you guys on that relay and maybe a secondary team. Now that you might not have that Ironman Ottawa, you guys could split it in two, do a 40-40. I mean, that's real. That's still pretty nice.
Are you trying to race? Are you trying to do a 4 versus 2 race? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, that would be pretty cool, actually. 4v2 race. I'm going to be friggin' warming up for the next day. I mean, I'm kind of down.
Okay, so this is important. So the relay is actually first, and then it's
Yeah.
the 50K.
So the
Okay.
relay's the Friday
Because I was
morning.
gonna say if the 50K was first, you would be out of commission
Oh yeah,
for the
I'd be
relay.
in friggin' crutches, let me tell you. But yeah, no, it's the relays this Friday. It's I think almost the same course as the 100. The 100 is Saturday and then the 50K is the Sunday. So I was hoping to kind of race the 50 myself on the Sunday. So I guess take the Friday a little bit easy and see what I could do on the 50. But again, complete noob at trail racing, let alone trail running. So I think first things first is not break an ankle training and then strengthen everything and try to race it. But I mean, that relay I think is just going to be super fun. I mean, I'm getting McDuff with the itch. We're doing a little bit of back and forth. I say you sign up for this and I'll sign up for that. So I think we're doing a little bit of back and forth. I'm getting him going here and he might even sign up for a full marathon. So I mean, he's built for that portage, that hike, that trail running lifestyle. So I think I'm going to get him.
You guys are a dangerous combo of like if you sign up, I will. Like your wallet, your calendar, and your fitness is just gonna be all screaming at you with all of these things you're throwing into the 2026 race season.
Oh yeah, I feel like it was a slow build up, but now it's just like same with Kyle. It's just like throw a grenade and it just blew up now. The 2026 race schedule is honestly almost already full and I don't know, I'm excited about it and I got to convince you guys to just join in on more belligerency is I think what it is.
Yeah, it does sound nice. So, question for you. Speaking about relays, what are you guys thinking and where is your head at for the relay here at Barrowman, the 70.3 relay? Do you think that's still in the cards for the race calendar, or do you think you've overfilled your plate?
Oh, for exact, it's a September. I think it's what first or second weekend of September. I mean, if that Ironman doesn't go through, I'm itching to do some triathlons. I know this will be a relay, and I will probably be the swimming anchor leg, let's call it. But I don't know. I'm interested for sure. It'll keep me in the pool and keep me accountable. Or who knows? Maybe we could get
Okay, I
Andy
like
in the
that, and
pool.
I think that's true. And Andrew has been itching to get into this pool. Like, if you look at his search history, it's just best goggles, pool near me, all of this. So who knows? He might end up doing the full try and just dropping us out.
But that means, Tyler, you need a sub 130 half because if our final leg is not sub 130, we got issues.
I,
We need some speed on that last kick.
I mean, you guys are putting me in the hot seat and you're making me divulge all my 2026 plans right now. But I mean, I'm looking for a speedy half in May as well. So we'll see. I got to get that 90 in me for May.
So I guess if you had to say 20, like you're setting up these. So we have 2 more months. Let me reframe this question. We have 2 more months of 2025. And that's not a ton of training. That's not a ton of like off season effort that you can put in. But in those 2 months, what are you going to be doing to set yourself up for those 2026 goals that you have? And Tyler, I'm inferring that yours is probably a fast half and maybe a fast 5K as well.
Frig, I like that. I like that setup. So I guess with this, let's call it off season. I put it in brackets because it is an off season, but I think there's still goals in there. Less actual races on the calendar, but more so, let's call it pinpointed training. But yeah, I think I'm firstly just getting over this little bit of a hip niggle, they call it, getting that hip flexor nice and flexy again. But yeah, I think getting in the gym, shredding a couple libs, getting that body composition a little bit different for the next couple months, I think will help with that winter even bike block, even though maybe the full isn't on the calendar anymore. Get that bike block in. I think still getting some speed workouts in, but really going to start focusing on going into, let's say, late winter into early spring, that nice speedy half marathon block. And like you said, dabble do ya a little bit of a sub 25K
I
attempt.
like it. How has the body recomp been going? I don't know that you've shared with the pod, but basically the goal is to put on a tiny bit of muscle, but mostly shred down a little bit.
Oh yeah,
How has that been going?
I started last week and I'm on target for 1.5 pounds a week. So right now I'm 1 pound down. So we're laughing right now. I'm freaking skinny as hell.
I've been hearing about this. Sorry, I've been hearing about this body recomp for like the better part of a year now.
Oh no, one
And
week.
now I ask you the question, how's it going? You're maybe 7 days in, and that's probably a stretch.
I'm 8 days in. Yes, you're right. I'm 8 days in. The friggin' body recomp is going really good. I'm actually like I said, 1 pound down. It's going really nice. And
Nice.
I think in the next few months, just gonna try to mostly increase that protein intake. That's I think what I struggle the
Yep.
most with. And
Hmm.
hopefully with two, you could see on Strava, I've been getting those morning workouts in more often, or not morning, but regular
That's true.
workouts in more often. So I'm thinking with a 2 to 3 time, weight sessions in the gym, it'll help me with that muscle gain and hopefully shred those libs, but increase the muscle mass.
I love it. Same question for you, Andrew.
Priority number one for me right now is get back to having healthy legs that can hit the pavement. Currently, I made the maybe not wise decision to run the Toronto full. It was not a good recovery decision, but it was just it was fun. So get healthy, try to keep the base while getting healthy. So getting in the gym a little bit, getting on the bike, probably not getting in the pool anymore. And I would really like to do a couple long running efforts, like not intense, but longer efforts
You're
close to
talking
the
about
end of this year.
2025?
Oh yeah, to close out the year, because now I'm in a bit of a mileage slump. So the goals, it's the only way to reach them. I'm back in the same scenario I was in last year. So that's kind of what I have in the books, but we'll see. It all
Very
depends
nice.
how the calf is feeling.
Yeah, a little bit of R&R, and then
Yeah.
hit it hard, kind of going through the new year. I'm
How about you?
curious. So for myself, the big goal for the year was like that consistent volume, and certainly around marathon time, the volume came down a bit on the bike, which means the mileage is lacking. So for anybody who doesn't know, my goals were 10,000 kilometers of total distance between running and biking, and I'm pretty well on pace. I might need to pick up a few kilometers here and there, maybe like average 210 a week until the end of the year, but aiming well for that. But that's certainly like number one, is like I'm not taking too much time off. I've had kind of 3 or 4 down weeks just around the marathon and recovery. So this is the first week back to full volume. So it'll be some big bikes and sprinkle in some decent running. And then staying consistent with the weight training, like those like circuits and my PT training stuff. Outside of that, I think this mile, that sounds like interesting, at least benchmarking where I am today and seeing if I can get a little bit off by the end of the year. And similar to you, Andrew, I think I want to see if I can put in a nice longer effort, maybe through the trails, maybe Remembrance Day, do like a long haul on the Bruce. I don't know. We will see what the weather holds. But that does seem interesting because I loved what you did last year, and I didn't feel like 50K was enough for me last year, so I'd like to see what I can put together on the feet before the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we should do another December grand exit. I think was really fun last year, and the amount of people we had involved, and like you said, maybe that little itch to do a little more because, well, I was in shambles after 50, but I know you weren't. So I'd like to get in more of a shambles.
But to be fair, the only reason I wasn't in shambles is because you were in shambles. It's one of those things where, like, because somebody in the pack is, like, more miserable, hurting more than you think you're fine and your spirits are high. I don't know if you guys get that way, but it certainly is, like, something that you feel or that I feel inside me when, like, I can see there's somebody really in the struggle bus and I'm feeling just okay, then it just feels like I'm on the top of the world.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's not just me.
No, I feel the same way. I felt the same way when I did it brings me back to my birthday run when I was doing 28 for 28. I was feeling like $1,000,000, and I had some, I won't name names, but I had some people slogging behind me. It wasn't real nice.
Yeah, that's because of all those donuts you ate. We all saw that dirty dozen you put back.
Oh, the friggin' dirty dozen, and I had the birthday girl sachet on, and it gave me the zoomies, let's just say.
That's funny. Okay, we're pretty much at time, but is there anything either of you guys wanna ponder about? Any threads that you've been thinking about recently?
Oh, one funny thing today that happened at work I wanted to tell the peeps is, well, I know you guys know, but I didn't tell the group yet. But I did convince a couple people at work to sign up for that transfer Ironman. He was all in, doesn't own a bike, just fired up to be there, all amped up. He sees me today in a meeting, and at this point, we still, it's still on, which it still is, but I mean, it was still on. I pull up into a meeting, don't have coffee with me. We have like always to go cups like in our kitchen, ready for just to go coffee. Like we're real, like the paper cups, we're real environmentally friendly at our job. But I get into a meeting. What do I have in there? Blue Kool-Aid. He's like, everybody's like, what the heck are you drinking? Because you're just like fluorescent blue in my cup instead of like coffee. They're like, what the heck are you drinking? And then I look at the guy, I'm like, we got to train for an Ironman. I'm carb loading. And everyone just started losing their minds because it was just fluorescent blue mid-morning, just drinking that Kool-Aid, baby. First of all, I had a taste of that Kool-Aid again on the weekend with a nice weekend ride with the boys. So then I was like, you know what?
We definitely need to dissect the rides.
Oh yeah, you had a freaky one too.
Yeah.
But that's basically where it came from. I was like, I had a little bit of Kool-Aid left in my pouch, and I'm like, I was fiending that Kool-Aid, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring that to work and just have some sipping on some Kool-Aid in my meetings.
I love it. I mean, the Kool-Aid is an elite mix for sport. If you just put some pool water electrolytes or just some salt in the Kool-Aid, you have like, yeah, the best sports drink. Now,
Exactly.
let's talk about your ride. You went out with John and Scott, right?
Yeah, John and Big Daddy Scott. We did the
So
we
for
did it.
context, who are they?
Yeah, John is, one of the BIM members from Ottawa. Scott is actually also a very freaky cyclist. He is actually one of John's childhood best friends, basically, knows him through high school and in Montreal. So he's permanently in Montreal, and he's on a cycling team. So absolute freak on the bike. John tried to convince him to get on the BIM ride last year, and I think he will be convinced this year to get on the BIM ride. So that would be a freaky wheel to stay on. I think he would have a lot of fun with you, Brian. Yeah, he was really freaky. He was just zone one the whole day. He's like, do you guys want to have a pull? And we were like zone 5 in his draft the whole day. And I'm like, oh no, I can't pull. I'm going to be friggin' going backwards if I start pulling. So we hung on for dear life.
Tyler,
Just
I'm
went.
sorry. You gotta mute your friggin' phone. All I hear is burn, burn every like 2 seconds.
You know
Toss
who it
it
is?
in
It's
the friggin' pantry.
It's friggin' I just did. It's friggin' John freaking out because we got the refund for the Ironman.
Ah, darn. Okay.
So you gotta give him a
Literally,
pass.
like the text chain. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay, so back to Mr. Magnus blowing up the pack.
Oh yeah, so we make our way to Kempville. No wind yesterday, so it was beautiful. Of course, like chilly. So I had a couple layers on, friggin' gloves. We were all geared up. But yeah, just freaky boy. He was out for a Sunday stroll, as they say, and I was huffing and puffing, and me and John were in the back, just like, what the heck is going on? And then on the way back, he'd just be pedaling, going 32, 33, 34, 35 kilometers an hour, just keeps going up to 38. Then he'd drop us, look behind, where he'd be like 40 meters behind him, and he just coast until we catch up to him. Then he does it again from 30 to 38, and then just drops us, coast. But it was a great ride, a good way to end the season, and hopefully we have one more outdoor ride. But that was kind of the ending there, especially in Ottawa here. It's getting really chilly.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah, Scott is definitely fast, very strong. I'm excited to get a ride in with him. Pretty
You had
similar
a freaky
experience.
ride, yeah.
I went to this I went to this Tuesday night ride a few weeks ago here in Niagara before the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, and it was a It was a fun ride. It was like a 40 kilometer, maybe 42-kilometer loop. And we basically did it in an hour. And it was just like, I could tell there was a few engines there. And I was not the strongest one, but I was definitely one of the strongest. And one guy, Derek, he's
For
from St.
Derek G
Catharines.
or
Anyways,
what?
pretty much Derek G. Anyways, he is super duper strong. Like you see him over all the segments here. And then there's another guy, Max Keeping. He is maybe in like his late 40s, early 50s. Anyways, he's super fast. Both of them are crazy fit. And Derek invited me out on this ride with him and then another couple, Elena and Justin. Anyways, all spectacular riders. And we were just like all pushing the pace together. And Derek went for a rip on a KOM. It was a 5-minute, 6-minute KOM, total distance. I don't know exactly what it was. But anyways, 4.5K. He did it in just like under 6 minutes. He did it at 46K an hour, and he and I were just tossing back and forth until finally at about like the two-thirds of the way through, maybe something like that. I was like, this is my last pull, then it's all you. And the guy was just blasting. He did it at an average of 383 watts for
Holy
those almost
shoot.
6 minutes. And he's a smaller guy. Like he's maybe 65 kgs max.
Frick.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Just an absolute freak on the bike. So there's a whole nother level out there. I'm excited to get the BIM ride in next year. I'm excited to get more cycling in before the end of the year as well. And the Tuesday night rides, like get on your trainer, get that trainer warmed up because we're getting after it this winter.
I'm very excited for that Trainer Tuesdays back at it. I hope we could get some real guys racing though this year. That's the only thing it was the boys, so it was fun, but I loved messing with those Randys in the pack, were just absolutely throwing haymakers at them and just making them rage quit.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can get a good group, like at least BIM people out. But who knows? We might need to do some adjustment to the schedule to find a good session that a lot of other people join.
Yeah, I'm sure there must at least be at some point, like one of the days of the week where there's actual people that ride that are not the BIM boys. Like, I feel like my whoosh since we started has grown a little bit since it's, plastered on Pogie's butt,
And yeah, everybody's behind him, so the people they're getting marketed to anyways.
And I always get the emails from my whoosh and it's just coffee ride with Pogie. So, I mean, I'm sure there's been some people that have jumped on just for that.
That's true. Maybe those are the ones. We got to try to play the games with Pogie, try to drop him. Tyler, anytime you're ready, baby.
Oh, that's it for me. I mean, this was a good chat, and we're, of course, over time.
No, you freak. I'm telling you to wrap you're the first on the outro, you freak.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find it. I have the wrong tab open, okay? Let me tell you right
Welcome
now.
to the Welcome and good night.
Yeah, I had the wrong thing open. I had the other one open. Okay, let me open this one back up. See, this is real nice. Unscripted.
Okay,
See,
okay. I'll just do yours and mine. All right.
Oh, I got it.
We're gonna that. Okay.
All
you
right,
gotta go.
All right, boys and ladies and gentlemen. That's a wrap for our first ever Boys BIM Banter episode. I kind of like this one. No plans, no stress, just happiness, fun, and nice times with the people that I like hanging out with. Good times hanging out and catching up.
Oh, geez, and I went on mute. Okay, if you enjoyed this kind of more chill, stress-free episode, please let us know. Drop a comment, give it a like, shoot us a subscribe. But most importantly, share it with a friend who is into the endurance sports, who might find this episode entertaining, or at least, maybe comedic at times. We do love seeing the community grow. Thank you.
And as always, our weekly reminder, we're not medical professionals, so don't take anything here as expert advice or too seriously. We're just a couple boys that are trying to figure it out as we go.
And remember, always trust those 6 a.m. emergency phone calls and sign up for that race.